Northern Nevada. She was unbelievable. 3 sports. The one thing I have to apologize to Kelly about is I encouraged her to apply for the Worcester High School basketball job because my daughter was a player. And it turned out, I think my daughter was the only one that could shoot a basketball, right, Kelly? So I don't know if that was a good recommendation for you for that. Now, the next people, Paul Anderson. Paul, everybody knows Paul, our attorney who just retired from the NIAA. I hired Paul, I think 30 years ago, right, Paul? And I hired him. I went to the office, Tom Oliveira and I took an NIAA hat and I took an NIAA sweatshirt. And I said, Paul, would you work for $800 a month? I'll give you this hat and this shirt. And he did. He did, and Paul and I have been through many battles together. I always knew when I was in trouble. We went to court a lot in those days. The NIAA was in court a lot. So I knew when some judge was trying to say something and get me upset about something, which wasn't that hard to do, and Paul would grab my knee and squeeze it. Shut your mouth. That was the signal. So Paul has been a great employee of the NIAA. Thank you so much, Paul. Tim, I don't know if you realize this, but Bert Cooper never had an assistant, and I didn't have one for 5 years. So those are tough times. So when I hired the next 2 guys, that became the best thing that happened in my life is to hire Jay Biesmeyer, who Jay was he started out as a bookkeeper, and I was paying him, I think, $100 a month. And Jay used to show up in these Birkenstocks, Southern California surfer guy, you know, but Jay could do everything. You know, the computer to go down, Jay started fixing the computer. He'd take phone calls. And Jay was great with irate people, and we had a lot of irate people call us. So Jay became a do-all kind of person. So I recommended to our board, I said, we need to hire Jay as an assistant director. Well, Jay never finished his degree at Utah because he was skiing too much. So Jay was in our office. He didn't have a degree, but I go, well, he might not have a degree, but you're paying me the most money, and I'm actually the dumbest guy in the office because everybody else is smarter than me, and Jay is a lot smarter than all of us. So, Jay, thanks for all you've done. And last but not least, I think everybody knows Donnie Nelson. Donnie was the do-everything, great guy, never said anything negative in his life, I don't think. When I hired Donnie, I brought, Mike Rippey's here, and Mike Rippey, I called Mike Rippey before I hired Donnie Nelson, because Donnie was working at the paper in Douglas. And I go, Mike, do you know Donnie Nelson? And he goes, why? I said, well, he applied for a job. Mike goes, hire him. So, Mike, you got him hired at the NIAA office, so good job. But Donnie could do everything, and one quick story, I brought him home for dinner one night. Tina fixed a meal, introduced her to Tina, and when he left, Tina goes, Jerry, that is a very nice young man, and I do not want you to corrupt him. And that is a true story. And hopefully I didn't corrupt you too much, Donnie. But the last thing I'd like to say, there's one person that's not on the list, but she was a big part of our office staff, and that is Linda Flora. Linda, would you stand up just to recognize Linda Flora? Linda did a great job for us for many, 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 many years. Okay, thank you for being here. Thanks for giving me a few minutes, Tim, and let's have a good night. Joe, how you doing, buddy?
Are you really going to jump down? Making me feel bad. I can't do that. As I said, this is the last I speak, and you're thankful for that, and we'll keep your dinner. Bart Thompson is here. Bart, I apologize. He was the executive director prior to Donnie. Another gentleman who I call, he answers.